Hi everyone, I'm Hayley with Long and Lean Pilates here in Buffalo, New York. Thank you so much for joining me today on your mat. We're going to be doing about an intermediate level workout today. Should feel really good for you, a little bit challenging, a little bit of feel good stuff. Please make sure everything you do feels good and challenging and doesn't feel like it's bothering any injuries or hurting you in any way. We are going to start laying down on the mat, so go ahead and find yourself on your back. Legs bent, feet flat on the mat. We'll start with our hands behind our heads. We're going to make sure we have a nice neutral pelvis. So that means that you should have a little bit of space between your lower back and the mat. You should have a nice, gentle curve here. And the ribs should be soft. So if we actually let go of the hands for a second, let's find the back of the head against the mat. And then there's a little bit of space between your neck and the mat. And then you should feel your whole rib cage down into the mat. Now that may be challenging. A lot of us are tight here and pull our lower ribs off the mat. I'm going to try to sink them heavy. And then the same thing with the pelvis. You want the whole back of the pelvis anchored into the mat with this little bit of easy space between the lower back and the mat with the lower ribs in. That's going to be our neutral today. We're going to stay, it's always going to be our neutral. You're going to stay in that neutral and then go ahead and bring your arms back behind your head, interlacing the fingers together. And we're going to try to keep our neutral pelvis. From here, nod your chin to your chest and look towards your belly button. You should feel like you're squeezing a little tangerine underneath your chin. And then you're going to continue to lift up, curling the abdominals, lifting your chest up and over your ribs, eyes still gazing forward. Pause there. We should see that the pelvis is still neutral, the abs are flattening into the back. Pause. I want you to take your arms and press them down towards the mat, but don't touch. Keep everything else the same. Bring your arms back behind your head without lowering, and then release all the way back down. Let's take that again. Chin to the chest first, and then we use the abdominals to lift the head and the chest up and forward. Hold. Press the arms strong. Open them out to the side. Bring the hands behind the head and then release it back down. Taking it again. Chin to the chest. And curl. Speed it up a little bit, but don't lose the integrity of the movement. Open and bring it down. Make sure your pelvis stays neutral. Chin to chest. And lift. Flattening the abs. Try not to let them puff up. So you're narrowing the waist and drawing in. On your next one, we're going to hold it up there. We're going to do a little hundreds prep. Stay here. Feel that low belly pull in. Breathe in. Expand through your back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pumps. And then exhale. Narrow your waist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Expand through your back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale. Breathe in. Narrow the waist. Narrow your hip bones. Let's keep going like that. Inhale for 5 pumps. And exhale for 5 pumps. And inhale for 5 pumps. And exhale for 5 pumps. Really strong through the backs of the arms. Open through your chest, eyes gazing through the thighs. And out. One more set here. Really strong. And exhale. Breathe every last bit of air out. It helps turn those abdominals on naturally. And then release all the way back down. Now we'll start to articulate through our spine a little bit here. On your next exhale, I want you to roll your pubic bone towards your belly button. Press your feet into the mat and continue to peel your spine off of the mat, pressing the heels into the ground, opening the fronts of the shoulders without popping your ribs up. So ribs stay down, but feel the chest open. Press into the hands, breathe in, and then on your exhale, roll all the way down, one vertebra at a time, feeling your chest soften down, your ribs soften down, just melting everything into the mat. We're going to take that again and add to it. So go ahead and roll all the way up. Peeling the spine off the mat, pressing your heels down into the ground. You can feel that when you push down into the ground, into the earth, you should feel the backs of your legs light up a little bit more. We'll stay there. Take the arms back overhead without losing where your ribs are right now. And then soften the bones and roll down. Feel a nice vacuum effect in your belly. Feel that belly hug in even deeper. Arms down by your side. We'll do that 2 more times through rolling up. Pressing the feet down into the mat. Feel like there's little magnets in between your knees, hugging the inner thighs in towards each other a little bit. Arms overhead. Roll it down. And then hands down by your side. Last one. Use your exhale to peel your spine off. Nice big full breaths here. Match your breath to your movement. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, roll down. Hug those ribs in, hug the belly in, let everything drop down into the mat. And then hands down by your side. Check in, find your neutral pelvis again. Try to feel those back ribs heavy into the mat without hunkering down. So we're just gonna be heavy there. Arms nice and open. On your exhale, float your right leg up to a tabletop position without letting that pelvis move. And then inhale back up. Sometimes it's helpful to put your hands on your hips to help encourage them to stay still and feel if they're moving. We're gonna alternate the legs one at a time, matching your breath to your movement. So on your exhale, the leg lifts. On your inhale, it lowers it down. On your exhale, it lifts. On your inhale, it lowers it down. Relaxed ankle, relaxed foot. Now, this is a simple movement, but it's a lot of good work for pelvic stability, for core stability, working your deep core muscles, which give you a nice flat belly, nice strong center, and pain-free back. The left leg up on your exhale, and inhaling back down. We're gonna bring that right leg up again and hold it up. Bring the left leg up to meet it. Let's flex our ankles. Right heel leads down to the ground. Touch the right heel down on your exhale. Inhale it back up and do the left. Your leg should be your knee should be staying at a 90-degree angle, and we're just hinging at the hip joint to touch down. And as you're doing that, you should feel like your pelvis, your ribs, and your spine all stay completely stable. If you're feeling like your back wants to arch, just don't go as far. Make your movement smaller and really work on your control through the center. Let's go a little faster as one comes up, the other's coming down. And up and down. On every exhale, see if you can feel your lower belly just drop in a little bit more. Not by rounding the spine, just hugging your abdominals towards your back a little bit more. One more each way. And then we'll bring both legs together. I'm gonna have you hug your knees into your chest for a second. Give yourself just a little hug. And then find yourself right back into that neutral position. We'll point the toes now, stretching the toes away from you. Find your neutral again and squeeze the knees together. We're gonna do a little bit of inner thigh engagement here. Squeeze in, and then on your exhale, don't extend, but reach both legs out away from you. And then inhale them right back up. Take it again like that. Exhaling down. And inhaling up, exhaling down will help give you that control and that slight drawing in of the abdominals as you reach to the hardest point of the movement. Again, only going as far as you can without arching that back. And all the way back up. Place both feet down. And then extend your legs all the way long on your mat. Pressing your heels down into the mat. Feel how that turns on the backs of your legs a little bit. We're going to try to maintain that. Bring the arms all the way up overhead. We're going to our Pilates roll up here. On your inhale, the arms start up to the ceiling as the head lifts up. On your exhale, you roll all the way up and forward, diving over your legs, reaching long through those arms, wide through the back. So not shoulders up to ears, but reaching out wide. And then we roll right back down. Belly button to spine, draw everything in, tuck your tail, lengthen all the way down. Two more. Chin to the chest, arms come up. Use your exhale to peel off. Dive forward, reach over those legs. Wide arms, wide shoulders on the back. Roll back down. All the way. One last time, chin to the chest. Roll up on your exhale. Reach over. Now we're going to take our next roll down super slow. You're going to really draw the pubic bone towards the belly button. Keep working on tilting your pelvis. Tilting your pelvis. Let's all pause here for a second. Feel like someone's holding your hands and they're resisting you as you roll down. See how slow you can go. See how much control you can find. Roll down one vertebra at a time. Slow, 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 and release. Take a moment to stretch with your arms overhead and then bring those arms around down by your hips. Now, everybody's just going to hug their right knee into their chest. And I want you to give it a nice deep pull there if you can. Deep fold of that hip socket. Obviously only take what feels right for your body. And then we're just going to do a little stir in that hip socket. You shouldn't feel pain. Should feel nice ease in the hip joint. Try not to hold your muscles really tight. Try not to lock anything. And then we'll reverse that circle, go the other way, just moving your thigh bone in the hip socket, giving that hip a little bit of lubrication before we do our ab series. We'll switch sides. Little hug in, and then little circles. Moving the thigh easily in the hip joint, keeping the hip stable, and reverse. Relaxed upper body, easy neck. Now, keep that left knee hugged into your chest. Shoulders down away from the ears. Chin to the chest. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Eyes gazing forward through your legs. And then hover that left leg an inch off the mat. See if you can pull your left knee deeper in towards you. And then use your exhale to switch and pull really, really deep. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. And switch. Every time you exhale, I want you to pull deeper, deeper, deeper in. And deeper in, and deeper in. How close to your nose can you get your knee? And in, shoulders down away from the ears, active arms. One more each way, and then we're gonna stay lifted and hug both knees into the chest. Ready, here we go, both knees are in. You're still curling up. You should feel like you're up to the tips of your shoulders. Inhale, extend arms overhead, legs straight out away from you, energy through fingers and toes, hug back in. Inhale, extend, reach. Exhale, hug back in. 3 more. Inhale, extend, reach. Exhale, hug back in. And stretch. See if you can lift more on your exhales. Keep yourself lifted on your inhale and then get a little bit higher. 1 more. And all the way in. Lower your head for a second. If you're feeling tension in your neck, you can roll your head side to side. And then from here, put your left foot down. Hands behind the right thigh. I want you to extend your leg up, flex the ankle, heel to the ceiling, stretch the foot, and then bend back in. This is just a little prep, a little stretch. Extend your leg, feel a nice stretch through the back of your leg, flex your ankle, stretch, and bend it back in. 1 more. Extend, reach, flex, stretch, bend, place the foot down. Hug that knee into the chest. Extend the leg, trying to get all the way straight through the knee. Flex the foot. Stretch it long and bend. Extend and flex and stretch and bend. 1 more. Extend and flex. Really lengthen through that calf and that hamstring. Stretch and bend back in. Did I say 1 more? We're going to do 1 more. Extend and flex and stretch and bend it back in. Let's put that foot down. Bring the right leg back up. Straighten it out. Extend your left leg on the mat. We're finding a nice curl, head, neck, and shoulders up again. Hands grab your shin if you can. If that's too hard, you could always go to the thigh. And then hover that left leg, shoulders down. Pull your right leg towards you on 2 exhales, little pulses. Pulse, pulse, inhale, switch, exhale, pulse, pulse. Inhale, switch, exhale, pulse, pulse, and switch, and pulse, pulse, and pulse, pulse, and pulse, 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 and pulse. Use your abs for that pulse. Try to pull from the center. Use your breath. Use your center. 1 more each way. Long lines of those legs as much as you can. Now, both legs come up together. We're going to lower our head down today for this. Neutral pelvis, neutral ribs. Inhale. Exhale, start to lower your legs away from you only as far as you can go without losing this neutral spine. And then inhale it back up. Taking that again. Exhale away. Hug in, hug in, hug in. Don't let that belly press up towards the sky. And then in. We should be hollowing, not pushing. And right back up. 1 more. Exhale down. Inhale up. Bend both knees. Place both feet down. Open your arms out to the side. Let your knees fall to the right. If you let your left foot be heavy on top of that right foot, you'll get a nice weight from the leg and a nice stretch there. Try to keep both shoulders anchored to get the most out of your twist. And then back through center, go the other way. Nice big deep breath. Open up the right side of the ribs here. Shoulders anchored. Come back to center. Let's keep the arms out to the side and do that exercise, but with a little more work. Right leg comes up to tabletop, left leg comes up to meet it. Squeeze knees and ankles together, and now imagine your leg is 1 leg. You don't want to be sliding or moving the legs separately now. You want to keep them together. Take an inhale to twist your hips to the right, bringing the knees and the feet over just as far as you can with your shoulders staying anchored, and then use your abdominals pulling back to bring you to center. To the left. Inhale to twist left, and then exhale through the center. Take that again. The point here is to twist from the waist and actually be rotating your pelvis to move your legs. And that's how you can get those legs to stay together as though they're one leg. Over to the left, you're inhaling to twist, and then you're exhaling back to center. Now, we're gonna do straight legs up to the ceiling. Same thing, little bit harder. Twist the hips to the right, keeping the toes lined up. Exhale to draw those legs back to center. Press your hands into the floor and try to keep those shoulders anchored. Resist that gravity trying to pull your whole body over. Reach to the right, and then twist back to center, and then reach left, and twist all the way back to center. I'm gonna have you slowly lower your legs down, all the way down to the mat. Use your control, use your control, use your control. Lower the feet all the way down, arms overhead, chin to the chest, and roll all the way up. Lengthen forward over those legs for a nice stretch, and then sit up nice and tall. Now, we're gonna do a little stretch and twist for the upper spine now, twisting from the waist, but now moving our upper body and keeping our lower body still. Your arms reach out to the side. I want you to really reach out and feel energy through your fingertips. Breathe in to get tall. Exhale, double pulse to the right. Twist. Twist a little further as you breathe the rest of your out on your exhale, and then inhale, get taller as you come through center. Let's go left. Exhale, twist. And twist, and then inhale back through center. I'm really flexing my ankles and sending energy out through my heels. Exhale, twist. Twist a little further. Inhale back to center, to the left. Twist. Twist all the way back to center. One more each way. Twist from the waist. Wring out your spine. And back. Good. Breathe every last bit of air out. Give yourself a little internal cleansing. And all the way back to center. Great. Let's focus on our hips and legs for a little while now. We're gonna lay down on our sides. You have some options with your upper body. You can have the top arm straight. The bottom arm straight, or you can bend it. It's up to you. Knees lined up, hips stacked. We wanna make sure we're not dumping down into that waist. So you wanna think about your top hip reaching long away and your bottom hip pressing gently into the ground here so that you have a long waist on both sides and a nice even pelvis. Long spine, one line from head to toe. Be careful, let's not collapse in. You should feel active through your upper body. Hand presses down into the mat. Heels stay together. We rotate the top leg up, and then we release it down slow. We're gonna take these slow here. Slow is really valuable in these clamshells. And then we're gonna release it back down. So I'm keeping my hips stacked. I'm keeping them where they are, and I'm just opening my thigh bone in that hip socket so it's spiraling. Imagine it moving with ease, even though it's not really easy. Taking that again, hips stay stable, rotate, and then releasing back down. We're gonna take 3 more. Rotate, press that knee back as you press your top hip forward, and rotate. Good. And 1 more. We're gonna hold the next one open, rotate, stay. Now I want you to just extend the knee, reaching your leg out long, and then bring the heels back together in that open clamshell. Extend and bend and extend and bend and extend and bend, keeping that knee rotating up to the ceiling. Open your thigh. 1 more. We're gonna press out and hold, stay. We pulse up, 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 up. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Small circles, reaching your toes out long. Imagine you could keep trying to lengthen your leg. Your leg gets longer and longer and longer. Switch directions, reverse your circle. Back to front. Back up and down. Back up and down. Keep those hips as stable as possible. Your center is working here. You're stabilizing through the center. 3 more. And 2. And 1. And then release that leg down. Nice work. Lay on your back. Take the leg you were just working. For me, it was my left. I'm gonna cross my left ankle over my right thigh. I'm gonna anchor into both sides of the pelvis here, and then you wanna grab onto the right thigh if that's accessible to you, and start to pull the legs towards your chest while you think about the left knee opening away from you. Now maybe this is enough of a stretch for you, and that's fine. If you feel that grabbing for your leg makes you really kind of curl up and feel uncomfortable, just don't. Just see if you can do it with the power of your legs, whichever feels right for you. And then we'll relax the legs and we'll do the other side. So again, you're lining up with either the arm down or hand on the head, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Knees a little bit lower than the line of the hips lined up, top hand into the mat, exhale, reach up, and then release back down. I always say exhale on the effort is usually a good rule. However, when you're doing these leg exercises, if you just want to breathe normally, just like you would in normal life, that's totally fine. You don't have to stress too much about when you're inhaling and when you're exhaling. There are times where it's really important to focus on where you're putting the inhale and where you're putting the exhale, but you can relax on that on this. We're going to take 3 more. Pressing the top hip forward as the knee rotates up. And 2, I have a little bit of lift in my lower waist. Long on both sides. We'll hold this one up, stay. Keep the hips stable. Extend your knee. Knee rotates up to the sky and bend. And extend and bend. We'll do 3 more. Extend and bend. Feel like your leg could reach longer than it really is. And 1, we'll hold it there and pulse up. Up, keep your waist long. Try not to move from the waist, move from the hip. This little dimple here tells you you're doing it right. Up, up, 3 more. 3 and 2 and 1. Circles, forward, up and around. Still trying to work on keeping that upper body as stable as possible. You could challenge yourself and take your hand off the mat, see if you're gonna fall over. And then reverse the circle other way, back up and around. Trying to really get that leg behind you without bringing the hip with it for 3 and 2 and 1, and then release back down. You can lay back on your back. Take the leg you were just working, cross it over the opposite thigh. Bring those legs up. If it's available to you, grab the thigh and pull it in. You can relax your ankles. You can flex them too. That actually assists the stretch and stabilizes you. Good. And then coming onto our stomachs, we'll do a little bit of extension work. Good work for posture and the upper back. Good for correcting all of our time on our computers and our phones. So you're making a little X shape with your body, with your arms at the top corners of your mat and your legs at the bottom corners of your mat. And I want you to feel the front of your pelvis press down into that mat. Now see if you can do that by lifting your abdominals a little bit instead of squeezing your glutes. So we're just trying to find a little abdominal engagement to keep the spine, to keep the pelvis neutral. From here, lift the right arm, the left leg, the head, and the chest, but keep your pubic bone and the fronts of your hips pressing into the mat. Release back down. Do the left arm, right leg, head and chest slightly lift, and then we lower back down. Keep alternating. And I want you to really feel the fingers and the toes reach out to start the lift. So you get longer, you find energy reaching out, no collapsing, no shortening. Lift everything up, reach, and lower back down, and lift, and lower, left arm, right leg lift, and lower back down. Now, legs can come closer together right underneath the center of each hip, hands underneath the shoulders, forehead kisses the mat for a moment. From here, extend your arms straight out in front of you, lifted slightly off the mat. Lift the head and the chest as you circle your arms back behind you, really slicing through the air with your pinkies, opening the fronts of the shoulders. Bend your elbows, lower back down, starting position. Same thing again, extend. Reach out to go up, find your length. Bend the elbows, lower down. I want you to think about gazing down towards the front edge of your mat instead of looking up to the sky. We don't want to do too much stress on the back of the neck. 2 more. Forward. Up. Bend those elbows. Release back down. Last one. Press. Reach up. And bend. Release back down. Hips back towards the heels. Just stretch through the arms. Let your lower back relax. Feel your tailbone heavy towards the ground. Stretch through your shoulders with nice long arms here. And then we'll come to hands and knees position. Hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. I want you to feel your shoulders open and down the back a little bit, and your front ribs close a little bit. So we want to be careful that we're not in this position. We have our tailbone reaching right back and our front ribs hugging in. Toes tuck underneath us. Press the hands down into the mat. Push the chest away from the mat. Exhale, close your front ribs a little bit more and just hover those knees an inch off the mat. Breathe here. We're holding that hover. And then we're releasing back down. On your next exhale, we'll do that lift again. I want you to feel the waist narrow, the belly draw in. Now when you inhale, breathe into the sides and backs of your ribs. And then on your exhale, narrow your waist more. And then see if you can keep some of that abdominal engagement and breathe just into your ribs. And then exhale, narrow your waist more. One more breath. And exhale. And then release back down. Untuck your toes. Walk your hands a little bit forward of your shoulders now. We're actually giving ourselves a little room to rock here. And I want you to sit back towards your heels. On your next exhale, rock forward. Bend the elbows, just like a push-up, but elbows really narrow towards the body. Start to lower your body down towards the ground, keeping your belly tucked tight, and then press back and go ahead and rock your way back a little bit. Take that again. It's a little rocking push-up. Elbows are pulling in towards each other. Collarbones and chest is staying nice and wide, and then pressing up. I'm thinking pubic bone to belly button, just a touch here, so that I don't end up arching my back and dropping. So I've got a little baby tuck, elbows in towards each other, low belly slightly engaged, and then bring it back up. Let's do 2 more like that. Elbows in towards each other, pubic bone to belly button slightly, and then extend back up. Last one. Narrowing those elbows, collarbones wide, pubic bone to belly button. Reach up, go ahead and press back, take a child's pose. One big nice breath there into the back. And then exhale all of your air out. And then coming back to hands and knees. Hands directly under the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips again. Right toes tucked under. I want you to slide that right leg long without moving your hips. Lift the leg up, touch it down, bring it back in, switch sides. Left reaches out long, and up, and in, all the way. Now, hopefully, you'll notice that my pelvis is staying completely stable, hopefully, down and up. I think it is. I'm trying to keep my hips completely level, and I'm trying not to arch my back when the leg lifts. I'm trying to really pull from my hamstrings and my glutes, so the back of the leg and the glutes. Trying to feel that connection of where my thigh meets my glute and lift from there. We're gonna do 1 more each way. Hold this one up there though. And then we're gonna do little pulses up and up, still pulling tight in the front so that I don't move my back. I'm just moving from that right leg, hamstring and glute. Pulse up and up, squeezing the glute a little bit to lift. 3 more, 3 and 2 and 1. Lower that leg, we'll switch. Left leg extends. Hold it up and pulse. Tiny movements here, and I'm really staying stable through the middle of my body. And pulse, 4 more, 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Relax that all the way down. Now, go ahead and face me on your mat with your hips stacked. We're gonna straighten out the top leg, and you want your bottom knee underneath the top knee with that top leg straight. Foot flexed so that the inside of the foot is against the mat. Hand out a little bit past the shoulder, other arm reaches up. I'm gonna give you 3 modified and then 3 regular here. If the modified feels better for you, stick with modified. Other arms reaching, I'm gonna watch my hand. Push that bottom hip up, press into your hand, lengthen long through that side of your body, reach, and then all the way down with control, keeping the shoulder away from the ear. Now, if you'd like to make it a bit more challenging, we're gonna extend the bottom leg, reach both legs out long, top foot in front of the bottom foot, and do the same thing. When you're ready, press those hips up, reach over, and then lengthen all the way down with control. Watch that shoulder, press down into the mat, lift yourself up and out of your wrist, And release back down with control. Last one. Easy neck, letting the head follow the direction of the hand. Release back down, bend both knees, grab your top ankle. Nice oppositional stretch here, reach. And we'll go the other way. So starting with our 3 modified and then going into the advanced if you'd like, or staying modified. Top arm reaches long, hand is a little bit outside of the shoulder, and then we'll press the hip up, reach overhead, lengthen, and then lower back down. I want you to feel your hips press forward slightly as you lift, and then lower back down. One more. Press up. Feel that left or the bottom side of the waist work, and expand through the other side, straightening out that bottom leg if you're ready, and then we'll press up. If the modified felt great for you and felt like enough work, enough of a challenge, go ahead and do that. Lowering down, opening up this shoulder, press up, and then releasing back down. Last one. Releasing back down, bending the knees, grabbing the ankles, the top ankle, reach over, stretch. Coming all the way back up, we're heading to hands and knees one more time. Hands directly under the shoulders, press the ground away from you, tuck your toes, lift your knees. Little baby hover. From there, extend your knees to lift your hips up. Shoulders draw down the back as you press the earth away from you, bend your right knee, stretch. Left heel presses down towards the ground and switch. From there, drop both heels down, bend the knees. Walk your hands in towards your feet. Drop your head heavy down towards the mat. Slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Reach your arms up to the sky. Lower them back down, nod your chin to your chest. Drop back down, soften those knees, walk out into your plank position. Hold your plank, and then lift your right leg and lower it down. And then your left, and lower, and right, and lower. We're practicing that pelvic stability we've been working on, no moving the legs. And left, one more each way, right, and left. Now, we'll keep the knees long, lift the hips, press up. Walk the hands in towards the feet. Drop your heels into the ground, soften your knees, drop your head, roll up. Feel your shoulders relax down. Feel your weight in your heels, feel nice and grounded. Thank you so much for joining me. See you again next time.